Good Saturday, June 26th. We do have a lot to talk about. A lot of excessive heat here for the Pacific Northwest and West Coast in general, as we are looking at a high pressure system overhead that will be causing temperatures above 100 degrees for at least the next 5 days. And for some areas over 105 to 113. We're talking the Pacific Northwest dealing with some of the most intense heat it's felt on record. I mean, 107 is one of the all-time records for Portland, and they're looking at tying that record today and beating it for tomorrow, Sunday, at 111. Now, the Pacific Northwest is also dealing with that heat, as well as Northern California. We have a nice little break in the middle of the state here because of a delta breeze and cooling that's coming in off the Pacific. But Southern California is also going to be dealing with a lot of that excessive heat for the next few days. Let's take a closer look here. You can see the excessive heat warning is primarily just north of the Sacramento Valley here, from Yuba City, Clear Lake, all the way north into the Pacific Northwest until Wednesday. So we do have a 5-day period here until 10 p.m. where we'll see that excessive heat over 100 degrees, about 103 to about 113, all the way up toward Washington. Now, we do have a heat advisory, and when this is in place here, it's just meaning, hey, we're going to see temperatures that are warm above average, and this will be for the coastal range area from Ukiah, Fort Bragg, through those mountainous areas along the coastline. All right, let's take a look here at what we could be facing with some of this heat, because Sacramento will be feeling that heat, triple digits, just not quite as hot as the excessive heat warning in place will be from 105 to about 111. What we are looking at is this area here that could be facing some fire danger, and that's primarily because of the dry vegetation we're looking at and the cooling that'll be coming in off the delta. That breeziness, about 20 to 25 mile-per-hour winds sustained through that area, could cause some flare-ups or anything that sparks there to spread quickly. But I want you to take a look at Sunday. We start to get into Sunday and Sunday afternoon, and we see this here. The fire danger expands. It doesn't just spread its way north and south here of the delta, but it also moves its way all the way down from Pacheco Pass all the way into areas of the San Joaquin Valley. So that's going to be pretty dangerous. We do have dry conditions there, very dry vegetation, and also the winds are expected to pick up in those zones for Sunday. So that's what we're going to be watching for the next couple of days, even along with that heat that we'll be facing for the weekend. We're also dealing with that fire danger. So the hot temperatures do hover around the triple digits for the next 5 days. And of course, the excessive heat areas are going to see about 105 and higher. The excessive heat warning and the watch is going to be primarily, again, north of Sacramento all the way through the Pacific Northwest. But the onshore flow that we'll be feeling off the Pacific is going to keep the temperatures from reaching higher than about 100 degrees. So we're really hovering anywhere from about 98 to 102. And that's pretty much where we'll be sitting for the next 5 days, as opposed to all the other areas where this high pressure system is sitting. This is primarily over the Pacific Northwest. And what's happening here is we're starting to see it running into Northern California as well. But that low pressure system is saving us. It's called a Rex block. That's where a high pressure system is over a low pressure system, and they kind of simultaneously move together. Now, this whole system could be broken up. This block could be broken up when one of those systems, whether it's high or low, starts changing from the other, whether it intensifies or really becomes smaller. And what we look at with that low pressure system is right around the low is a lot of instability. It could bring upon showers and a lot of cooler air with the rotation. Now, the showers that come from that are going to be over the Pacific because they're just not close enough to land at this point. If this low were a little bit further in and under the high, we could be dealing with a little bit of showers, which would be nice this time of year, although at this time of year it could also cause thunderstorm chances. The high pressure system up there is keeping everything very, very dry and very warm, so that's where we're looking at the difference in the two systems, creating that Rex block. All right, let's talk about the breeze. Now, the breeze is going to kick up later in the evenings. We'll start off in our mornings, calm to light winds, but by the evening hours, we can see anywhere from 10 to 15 mile-per-hour winds in the valley. And again, the delta, that's where we're getting the cooling. That'll be about 22 mile-per-hour winds in Fairfield. The gusts could get as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour, but check out Sunday, a little bit higher here as we start to see the winds picking up to 25 miles per hour. And then in the valley, still about 10 to 15 mile-per-hour winds. The coastal range also begins to see a little bit of that flare-up, and those are the same zones where we saw those fire danger concerns that could be possible through the weekend. All right, let's look at the jet stream. This is making the same pattern here with the jet stream, the airflow that we saw with the Rex block pattern, where we had the high pressure system, the big area here that's clear of any kind of wind or moisture, and then the low pressure system off the Pacific. So that's what we're looking at currently, and you can see it in the jet stream. Now, in the next few days, this will begin to shift slowly. It's going to take a little while. You still see the arch there, and then everything becomes zonal, which is basically a light, nice zone flow across most of the northern U.S. U.S. here. And when that happens, more of the temperatures become more stable, very similar looking temperatures over those few days, rather than that big roller coaster of temperatures you usually feel when you see that big roller coaster pattern in the jet stream. Now let's take a look at the dry conditions we're looking at across the northern U.S. And this is drier than average. And this is the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. They're looking at much drier conditions than they are used to this time of year. But notice most of California is in gray. That's average. That's normal for us to not have rain this time of year. So we are not sitting drier than normal. We're actually right where we should be, or right where we're used to being this time of year. Okay, let's talk about temperatures. So for the day ahead of Saturday, June 26, about 100-degree temperatures in the lower foothills. We'll see about 88 Truckee to 85 in South Lake Tahoe. Now for Tahoe, temperatures do increase the next couple of days, right around 90 for Sunday into Monday, and we get right back into the mid-80s for the rest of the week. Now if you're looking to find a place to cool down, of course, the coastline's always some of the nicest spots to head to. San Francisco around 70 degrees, as well as Oakland. We're looking at almost 80 though in Santa Cruz, 95 in Fairfield. The San Joaquin Valley looking at those upper 90s. Couple spots like Patterson could reach about 102 degrees. Sacramento's looking at right around 102 degrees as well. 103 in Davis. A couple spots could feel a little bit hotter temperatures. Again, that's because the excessive heat warning is in effect north of Sacramento. We're talking areas like Yuba City at 106, possibility for Woodland to hit 106, 109 possible for Colusa today. So again, hotter temperatures north of Sacramento because of that delta breeze that keeps us much cooler. 100 degrees for the next 5 days or so as you're really hovering around those temperatures. We finally drop back down into those mid 90s moving through the following week.